I got aims. I got aims on my mind. And sometimes, yeah, we here. We here. Blessed to be here. mentality in Japan. So, yeah, somebody is saying more podcasts, please. More podcasts, please. Yes, this is not a conversation you're having nti just ebeera bubeezi mu buno bu clips obwa n'osuulayo busuuzi ku that's another problem as well. So you said podcasts as well, but I will give you another example which industry yaffe wambiddwa abantu abatategeera art. So these conversations are deep. That's why I say that I'm sharing my thoughts on the psychology and that has led to the problems of the music industry. That such a statement requires deep thought and examination. See, tekiri shallow. Nti ate kyatunda bakigenda kutunda bakijja kutunda mwenyimba nga zakuba ziri mu style tetugitegeera gwe togitegeera wali abakola ki abagitegeera. So in order to improve the quality of the art that we produce in the industry, we need to allow an environment that encourages younger artists to be diverse and to explore creativity itself. I agree with the gentleman who said we need more podcasts, please, because this is a discussion. Ebera yetaganga sawa namba. Netuleta mune ba experts abala neta bera view ya Zamba yokka. And I think what we are beginning to do as Baboon Forest Entertainment is to examine the industry and become thought leaders, basically, to call everybody back to the fire so that we begin re-strategizing and restructuring our industry. Kubanga nze ndaba abantu bangi nnyo naddawo ne batandika n'owulira obwongo bw'omuntu obwanalyzinga music nga ate ffe mu hip hop tulina bubi nnyo nti abantu bakyanalyzinga music by the way somebody dresses like Tupac. Tupac was 26 years ago, a great artist as such. Nenga bamanyi oluyimba lumu olwa Tupac lwokka nga naye lwa analyzing sa industry yokka. Nosanga nga nze kati mu UG, whenever I come back to Uganda, mulimu TV stations zonga nazisazeeko. I'm not going to be doing interviews with you people because it's a waste. Mulimu TV stations satu zokka. Only 3 media houses that I'm going to allow access to my time. Because abasinga bonna basiru bawunguutufu. You get me? You forgive me for using such a crude language. Naye bawunguutufu. Omuntu n'omuwa interview nga mulimu sense egenda benefitinga industry yonna. Akakazi ne kadda ku TV kakagenda kugi-introducinga ne kaleeta bya kisiru byokka, so it demeans the sense that you're trying to give to the industry. So, nze media houses satu zokka mu Uganda zisigaddeyo okufuna interview from GNL. Others will have to find them from the sources that we are creating, like baboonforestentertainment.com. We'll be putting our content there. We'll be putting our news there. We'll be bringing the experts to the industry there. The psychology that governs the industry, the root problem is there are people who have no right to be speaking about the industry, speaking for the industry, and they are becoming the voices for the industry. You do not understand the depth with which people create. Ngodawo analyzing emizannyo nga Alex Mukulu atudde wali. You get me? You cannot begin analyzing structuring culture policy nga Mr. Isabi yetaliiwo. Who are you to begin? You're speaking from what authority? You've never sold a song. Bayimbi bo managing at ku international level. This is what amuses me the most. What amuses me the most is that otunulira ba critics babaleeta ku TV show oba ba presenter abamu nga bagamba ekikulu bayimbi baffe. You blame musicians for so many things that you've also failed to do. Kambabuuza ekibuuzo mwe ba presenter, mwe ba semanya ba analyst ba music. You're criticizing musicians for not having gone international. Nemwe mu field zammwe nga temuli international. How come you're not international? Lwaki tokola ku CNN? That's the question we should be asking you people. Gwa criticizing abayimbi ebizibu bye balina mwe ba journalists nga simwe basinga okusasula mu Uganda. So if we are dealing with the psychology that's governing the music industry, there's a very deep problem. There's a problem as to why tulina ebizibu mu music industry ya Uganda, and they have been created over generations. That if you're looking at it right now, just from the way it is, or you're blaming abayimbi abaliwo. But these problems have been piling on since the 70s. So mwemugamba omuyimbi gundi Chameleone singa yandibadde nga Diamond tomanyi bizibu Chameleone byayiseemu. You're criticizing these people, but they are bearing the whole industry. Industry. Those people are pioneers. What you should first learn to do before you criticize musicians is to say thank you. What you get? Say thank you to these people for bearing the pain that they go through to create the art that they give you. First of all, learn to say thank you to the musicians who are creating the art for you. The art that your TV shows and programs are existing is because of the artists who create the art. And I'm not talking about just one musician alone. It is a GNL, it's a Chameleone, it's a Bobby Wine somewhere. I'm talking about the whole entire industry. Lil Puzzle. Lil Puzzle has done a lot of kumalaka abantu stress akakayimba kamuke yakuba. Learn to give credit to people like Ziggy D. Temugamba mbuno omuyimbi tetuchamuwulira. That's a stupid mentality. Mwagenda okuleta UB40 mu Uganda bali balina hit chi. They had stopped singing years ago, but because the quality of the music they had produced was still reverberating until time okutuuka okubaleta, that's how you brought them. It's not about a hit, it's about a career. Obwongo bwammwe bukyali wansi nnyo ku analyzing music. One mu US ba Lionel Richie bakyakuba show. When was the last time he made a hit? Music is not about hits, it's about crafting careers. Ate ne mubuzaabuza abayimbi abalala bonna, abayimbi ne bakyesinga hit ne basigala nga baavu. Tubulabye bameka abakubye hit ne basigala nga baavu. Stop speaking as authorities about our art and our industry nga temulina experience and the depth of knowledge. You're not authorities on our art. Art warfare is becoming very, 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 very shallow because you people who are analyzing the art are not putting the spotlight on the art that should be highlighted. Musicians like Shinobe are creating great art that's represented Uganda all over the world. Michael Chiwanuka should be a model of excellence when it comes down to creating beautiful music. You don't highlight these people. Mutubulira abayimbi ababasasula. To make a hit in Uganda, all you have to do is put a budget aside. No gamba buno obukadde 15 ngenda buliisa abantu. That's it. Temutuzimbirako gundi. My battery is about to go. My battery is about to go. But to analyze the psychology that governs this music industry, the problem is with you people that are analyzing the art, that are speaking for the art. Mwali eyo nga mulunda nsenene ne muwulira nti no mu Kampala waliyo music. Kati bwokuwa chance n'okwata omuzindaalo n'otandika with criticism instead of even first appreciating that there are people who are creating through pain to put that art on the table, to create these songs. Musicians go through a lot of pain. Musicians go through a lot of sacrifice. Omuntu n'akwata millions zetano 12 to create a video for you. Negwe notandika na bakubye kirangi nnyo. You've never produced a video, so shut the fuck up. You have no pedestal to stand on to begin criticizing art. If you've never created, shut the fuck up. Let the people who later Sasha Vibes, later Pest, later Gundi, but aniko analyzing a video. Gwengani ataniko analyzing a video z'abantu. Mtuleta kakalacha. So, to cut the long story short, we have the ability to speak for ourselves and analyze our own art. First of all, bully musician. We as musicians also have the ability. We have the ability to become our own solutions. But in a psychology, like I said, I'm talking about the psychology and sharing my thoughts on the whole music industry in Uganda. The psychology that musicians are helpless and they cannot help themselves. Mujijewo kubanga temutusinga kwogera luzungu, temutusinga kwe planningira, temutusinga kwe marketingira. Tukwata abayimbi ne tubateeka mu line. You as who? Shut the fuck up. Musicians market their own music. That means they are a media they are marketing their own music. That means that they know a lot more about advertising than you'll ever know. A musician gets something out of nothing, not creating oluyimba for you to consume. Gwe noveri mbuno akikulu abayimbi tebamanyi kwerowooleza. Nze munzija kale mu category y'abatamanyi kwerowooleza. Because we know how to conduct research, we know how to promote ourselves, and the reason why I'm taking this time out to first appreciate Ugandan musicians is because they create from scarcity and create magic. Why don't we begin with first saying, thank you for creating. Thank you for creating. Nikatan, why is every criticism about our industry negative? Mbunebaleta bufala mbukati butandise okwambala obusuuti mbubwogerera industry yonna. You as who? Eno game ina architects baayo. You get me? Just because you work for a media house, mugamba bayimbi otebane bafuuka international, gwe lwaki tokolera CNN. Bu TV station bwa mubumbu tebutuuka na Masaka. So if you're criticizing the artists, first point the fingers at yourselves. If you're criticizing an artist for not having gone international, tubulire lwaki tokolera BET. Bakugamba tino what to say is the model of excellence. Before you criticize our artists and our creatives for why they have not managed to overcome all of these challenges, first look at your own industries as well. You people are nonsensical. Aba media mwesibye ku creativity industry, you're suffocating the industry and suffocating the creatives who are young. You're not allowing the musicians to create, and even the freedom to fail is a privilege that should be afforded to an artist. We should experiment and fail, just like scientists experiment and fail. There is an art to failing better and failing forward. That's how we progress. Nemo down nemo criticizing videos, so nemo criticizing yoku nemo criticizing. I think that temuyina any knowledge in the fields you're trying to criticize. That's the major problem we're having here. So the media is suffocating the industry because the people who are meant to speak for the industry are quiet.
It's 3 o'clock.
People like Kawesa are quiet. The people who should be analyzing the culture of the industry are quiet. Bane bitwasamira bitaina any experience whatsoever in the field are becoming the mouthpieces of the industry. Shut the fuck up. Mumpulira, this industry has its own architects. And from now on, it's going to be different. I want, if you're criticizing a producer, let a producer criticize other producers. To producing angako oluyimba dotya ku TV notandika okuanalyzing oluyimba. Mbumpulira ekigoma, what kigoma ky'owulira? Give us a technical name. We are tired of, let me use a better word, but in a gamba idiot. We are tired of people displaying their inexperience and suffocating an industry which is creating from scarcity. You're listening to me? We are tired of that. Temukolangako anything monumental mwaba media besides okukwata abayimbi abavuddeyo ne mutandika okubayita ku bushozi bwammwe baba performing obwerere. The first rule, the first rule to becoming a successful musician is one, and I'm going to teach it to you right now. Forgive me if young kids are listening. Nefe mu hip hop, we believe in expressing ourselves. The first rule to becoming a successful musician is called fuck you, pay me. Fuck you, pay me is the first rule to becoming a successful musician. Omuyimbi bwaberanga okubye hit. Neighbor akuyita kubanga mubadde mwemanyi. It has nothing to do with your relationship. It's business. Bwakuyita ewuwe mulaba akapiira, that's fine. Bwakugamba nti no nkubiramu akapera, fuck you, pay me. That's rule number one. Mweba presenter ne abakola mu media, you have a habit of calling musicians mbulokubanga namwe mukati mutandise bu festival, mutandise okukola obuvulu, your leeches, your parasites on the art that you're criticizing. Ne mutandika okuyipa abayimbi buno ojje nkuweeyo amafuta. Bakugambe tebasobola kwegulira amafuta. Lwaki tomusasula ne yeegulira amafuta? So in order for us to create value for our industry, we need to begin speaking candidly. We need to begin speaking candidly, speaking with intention. Mwe temulina authority kwogera na criticizing music. For musicians, learn your value. The first rule of making it as a musician is fuck you, pay me. Nze tata wange ayina ebidongo. He has his own work, naye mu free time ye because he loves entertainment. Ayina ebidongo. Naye ndi mutabani we naye mugamba. Sooka olabe manager sebo. Because it's professionalized. So if I can charge my father, ate gwe. Nokitegera mbunzije ku radio station ko wategese she Kiboga mbogenda kumpa amafuta time yange togivaluinga. You musicians have allowed these idiots to control how the industry goes. They are going to suffocate you muberega temukyalina na kyemusobola kwogera. Nokitegera they are going to suffocate you. They are not doing you any favors. Bakugamba kino bomukubira ku kivulu kyatagenda kudda ku muyimbi omulala nga toyina hiti amuyite. They will forget you and ignore you. So the first rule to making it is called fuck you, pay me. For all the politicians, all the media houses, nobody is doing things anymore for publicity. Learn to pay musicians and value our industry. Mutuwulira. If you lack the depth to analyze the industry, Nemoda criticizing abayimbi aba creating from scarcity to create art for you. Before you say thank you, you people should learn to shut the fuck up. You don't have the knowledge, call an expert to be there with you. Bobera ngoli radio presenter, yogera kubyaba radio presenter. Let the musicians analyze the music for themselves because we have the capability to. I'm a ghetto storyteller, so I'll end this with a story. Yes, could I have some water, please? I'm a ghetto storyteller, so I'll end this with a story. Ed Denyo, when musicians were beginning to create. Actually, let me even take it back. Kubanga wengambe Denyo, badangenda bawe emyaka nga 15 mabega. But let me take it back to the very beginning of the universe itself. Teri muntu asinga muyimbi manyi mu nsi yonna. Si muyimbi actually. Teri muntu asinga aba creative, the creative industry. took a man who drew a cob and a crested crane, n'engabo, n'agifula emblem yamwe gye mukuba ku parliament. It took a man, Kakoma, now composing a stanza satu that should be the values that our society should aspire to. Those 3 stanzas hold so much knowledge, so much philosophy, but you don't even analyze the beauty and genius behind our national anthem. You don't respect our institutions and our institution of creativity. You should shut the fuck up. Today I'm speaking as a free man, because I'm a free man. I have thoughts to share for days. The language I promise next time will be better. But if I'm speaking bluntly, you should shut the fuck up. The first rule to govern a successful musician is fuck you, pay me. I'm going to take this time to apologize. Yesterday, the reason why I'm creating, I did this live is because yesterday, mukwano gwafe owa Baboon Forest, mukwano gwafe owa industry, one of the youngest talents in Uganda, was celebrating 10 years, miaka kumi. And I was like, wow, we are witnessing one of Uganda's youngest superstars celebrating his 10th birthday. But what is the significance? Nganze Muganda w'omukulu, what am I doing to make sure that fresh kid tasanga bizibu byebimu? Nganze Zamba ne Epas ne which other creative person do I like over there? Let me end it there. This kid does not find the same challenges that I found while coming up. Ebizibu bye twasanganga bazamba bavaayo ate byebizibu byennyini bye twagala bibeerewo paka kati tetulina bwongo buyiya solutions. And when we are trying to craft solutions, lwaki mwe ab'emimwa eminene n'emba ez'akaluba, you're the ones trying to become our mouthpieces. We have mouths to speak for ourselves. Let us speak. We are taking back our voices. Temuyina magezi ga analyzing our industry eno. So nzenga big brother right now mu hip hop. I don't want fresh kid to find the same problems. Abana abazalibwa mu 70s zebakyapa perpetuating right now. Abana abazalibwa mu 70s bazalibwa from scarcity. Kusabiriza, kukuba bannaabwe enkokola. You've not learned to praise each other's efforts. That's why our industry is stagnated. Ntitoddawo n'ogamba, mwana gundi, wakoze video nungi. Mwana gundi, wakoze album yo yabadde nungi. Learn to congratulate each other. But right now, if we are to begin finding solutions for the industry, waliwo olukoko oba olutwesibyeko oba oliwo obuntu obutalina magezi ku analyzing industry yaffe bwe bujoogerera. That should stop. That shit stops today. Shut the fuck up. That shit stops today. Call a producer to analyze other producers. You journalists, muchawandika articles, mbude chikankane singa, mbude bakwata statement yolimbo limbiro yakuba, mbude what singer. Is that the only phrase mu myaka jamwe abiri ejokuwandika about the music industry? Is that the only way you can phrase an article? Really? Have you tried to look at The Guardian and look at websites like Music in Africa? Do you see how they analyze art? We are not going forward because you, the journalists, lack the experience, or the mental fortitude to tackle the problems that we are having. Muchalimu the chikankane singer, and then he did this album. When did he start singing? Interview. I would rather put it on a podcast so that the industry gains from my time. Would rather go to podcasts that we create and curate on our own. Go over to baboonforestentertainment.com right now to never launchinga. Net will take articles and whatever kind of media that we can create for our own, to create our own solutions. Right now, just never launchinga, but when we launch, you'll know and see the difference between people who love art and love to encourage others nezine embwa ezibeera zituwogganira buli ssaawa nga zikalubyemba zikutisizing abantu. You don't even know how we get our finances to finance our art. How can you begin criticizing us? Temulina bwongo bw'analyzing a music industry yaffe. The psychology that a false narrative informs your beliefs. That's the psychology ya music industry ya Uganda. Muloza buli muyimbi musiru muyimbi teyasoma. Abayimbi abatwasoma twabalekayo dda. Except nti be basinga okuwoggana. Ne twabalekayo dda. Right now, obala degrees eziri mu music industry nyingi, but you have not updated. Mukyali ku template yomu, template gye mwakuba mu 90s, muloza ye template ekyafuga wano mu 2021. There are musicians who are planning to release albums in 2023, 2022. Naye obwongo tulina media etakula yetwesibyeko eringa olukokobe. There are people doing great things in this industry who you're not giving a highlight. Stop speaking for us. Mweba politicians simanya muita mbwa. You don't call musicians abayina obwongo to reason with you. Muita mbwa nemulowoza mbuno. That's the industry. No, the industry is much bigger than the fools you parade on TV. The industry is much bigger than that. The industry is much bigger than the three fools you continue mentioning. Leaders. We have no leaders here. This whole industry has no leaders. Everybody is a king in their own castle. I can be a king. Fefe Busi can be a king. That's the difference between a person who is confident in their abilities that I can call anybody a king because we are all kings. And if you analyze my Pan-African movement, we view every black man as a king, every black woman as a queen. That's the psychology that will get us out of this dogma. Nemu down mutuogerere. You can't, man. That stops today. Musicians, first rule, fuck you, pay me. But you'll get publicity for it, stupid. Fuck you, pay me. Nsasula. Osasudde abamatala. Osasudde stage. Osasudde obulango. Osasudde abasibye waya. Okoze akaviiri. Biyawo osasudde crate w'omutaddemu. Okoze packaging yonna. Budget embuka kyeweddewo. Abayimbi abagenda okuyimbira ku stage yo. Mbu temuyina budget. Fuck you, pay me. Sijja kujja. Nyimba nja zikuba nzetere ku website yange entunde. Tetukyabeetaagana nnyo. We have technology that's helping out musicians right now. Nyimba nzituteka ku website yange. Sirinda na Spotify oba YouTube kunsasula. I'm the boss. Omuntu asasula $9 nezigwa mu account ya Zamba. Sikyalinda mbwa. Musicians, you have that power. Temugamba mbwa Zamba. No. You have that power. Begin walking like kings, man. Nimuleka zine mbwa to analyze your industry for you. These vultures and hyenas, when the lions are quiet, I encourage all the people who have the knowledge to begin sharing it. The Silver Chagulanyi should be educating people on entertainment law. I haven't heard from the gentleman in so long. Please, the people who have the power to speak for musicians, you should bring those brains back to the table. These dogs can't speak for us. These hyenas and vultures can't speak for us. This industry, you're not my leaders. The scene, I am my own king. I have my own kingdom, my own castle. I have my own ecosystem, baboon forest. We give everybody their props, but that's where it stops. It's the BFE. So, akukeka chai kale. More conversations like this will continue as we try to find solutions to the whole industry. Fresh kid yakaweza emyaka 10. Sagala fresh kid asange ebizibu byebimu bye nasanga. Because memuganya producing solutions. Nagamba luliembwa ku TV nenjigamba. Everybody nearly uses a phone that uses mobile money, but nobody, you mean to tell me nobody can develop the technology with all these technology startups that we have in Kampala? You mean to tell me nobody can integrate a music selling platform with mobile money? Or is it because you lack the willingness and attitude too? You mean to tell me enyanya nsobola zigulira ku mobile money sawa zino? What's different from enyanya and goods and services n'amasanyalaze gensasula than supporting an artist notika kunti menu for music. What's so hard about that? Buli muyimbi nabeera ne code ye. Temuyina bwongo bulowooza. Like Tamale Mirundi. Temuyina bwongo. You cannot begin speaking for us. You lack the brains to think like we do. You don't think solutions, you think negativity, a cycle and spiral of negativity that's dragging us down. You don't think forward, you don't think the future. Stop speaking for me. Shut the fuck up. Goa media, if you don't respect the time that I'm giving you, or take an interview yange ku TV, I'm not coming through to your TV stations anymore. I'll be giving my interviews to my own platform and building better content. About go back to consuming. I find so many fans of Ugandan music everywhere. So many. They don't know where to get the music. And if they know where to get the music, they don't get it in the quality that it should be in. And the musicians cannot create a better quality. No sange chintu gachogana. Teba kubi live nga kyasasudde 15 zokko kujja ku show. You expected. Do you know how much they pay a sound engineer okola ebyuma bya band? Mbwanti launchi ye teya musajja watu yasobodde bacharginga 15. Ezo zireta DJ na byuma. If you want a live show, sasule bitwale 5 oba 10 ogambe banyimye na ina kubye gundi na sasude sente zange, because we need to pay sound engineers, we need to pay there's a lot of work that goes behind the scene to create the quality that we produce. So, us as musicians should first begin by thanking each other. I'm a fan of so many Ugandan musicians. Banji nyo, unsung heroes. Bamala kufa ne mulyoka mwasama of how legendary they were. But when they were alive, radio mwamukubyanga stress and he felt nobody loved him. Because the industry kept on criticizing every move Reddy and Weasel made. But Reddy and Weasel, we're in Kenya, we're in South Africa, they were selling the whole country. But you nitpick their problems, you highlight their problems, the positives, and I should say Radio and Weasel, the positives that they contributed to Uganda, compared to the negativity of Obiteka Kumizani, Mizani and negativity is much more heavy. But has a musician, has a journalist ever taken time? Besides Okamambo tribute to Genda Kuba Nyimba, has a journalist Aina Penny no Obwongo sat down to analyze the contribution of these monumental people we have in our industry? Have you ever started there? Where you take time to analyze the impact of Reddy and Weasel, the impact of Chameleon, the impact of Bobby Wine, the impact of GNL to lyricism in Uganda and storytelling. Have you ever taken time? Obogamba bugambi no criticizing. Instead of concentrating on kuintu ebirimu amagezi mulimu aline mukyala we stupid. I'm a musician first. Let's take it there. You're a music journalist. Start there. We still the psychology just it drives one mad. You make me you make me want to pull my dreadlocks out. When I read articles, Mbudachi kankane singa. Omuntu nomuwa time nogenda ku interview ovuzo yize mu jam saga kwera mu jam notuuka natukubugeza ekibuzo. When did you start singing? There's a Wikipedia page for that. I have a website. You can go to my website and first do some research about the work that I've done. So when you're there asking me questions, we are both utilizing each other's time and informing, creating better products for our consumers. But consumers baffe temubabalamu magezi bafani baffe. Mugende bali more informed than you, because now they are coming to us directly. Tebakyabetaaga. So if we're interviewing and introducing her with a segment of nonsense and dilute the sense which I'm trying to make and the point I'm trying to communicate, of Firiza Gwanga, that's where we should start. Shout outs to all the musicians about creating gira waka, about creating gira muchalo, about creating gira mubulumi, nemuwa NC inspiration, nemu batasa stress, nemu branding NC afe. Any creative obo baja. You are creative to me. It's a creative industry. Abaz industry ya theater mwaji tayona. Ba musicians mbwe abazannya emizannyo zi group ne zibeera nga zikopa biyimba byebweru. They are miming on stage instead of writing plays. Yafa. There's no theatre in Uganda. I could be wrong. Bwembera wrong mperezayo link y'omuzannyo ogwakabi that I can pay emitwalo gyange 10 n'engenda n'endaba omuzannyo to feed my inspiration. Nothing of that exists. But I remember back in the day, twali tukula waliwo emizannyo egyakabi, and this is not so far back in the day. I'm not that old. But waliwo emizannyo egyakabi. But that whole industry died. How many people are writing books in Uganda now? That's also almost dying off. Bafulumya obutabo nga 5 ne babuwaana okumala emyaka 10. People in the US produce a book nearly every day. People in Kenya are producing books every day. People in Tanzania are producing like this. Mwagala luyimba buli mwezi bwe atayagala kusasulira. Fuck you, pay me. Enyimba zange muzijja ku website bwamwe bonna. I don't need you. Bobanga tonsasula, if you don't pay a license for my music, jaye nyimba zange zonna. Otherwise, I'm going to collect all this evidence and I'm going to sue you for damages. I'm going to sue you for damages for distributing my songs. I have evidence from the website bonna. Nteka enyimba zange ku YouTube yange tezifuna hit, na zemo upload zawale zifuna hit. Na kuyetingira mmwe. Abana bange banali awo. Fuck you, pay me. Rule number 1 to becoming a successful musician. Secondly, ebizibu mu industry yaffe bigenda kubeera solved if we start dealing with the mentality that analyzes our music, the psychology behind the whole society. Omuntu nalowooza mbu ye because n'omusimi wa toyi nalowooza mbu naayina opinion bw'aba asinga omuyimbi. Buli muntu alowooza they are better off asinga omuyimbi. So instead of looking at ourselves as peers ng'abantu, babeera are looking forward to the opportunity for you to fall. Instead of seeing you as a person who is contributing to the wellness of the country. That's all I have to communicate. GNLZamba.com, baboomforestentertainment.com, simbimusic.com. Let the conversation continue. Tell me what you think about this whole conversation. We'll be creating more from podcasts. But first of all, thank you so much to the fans who have kept on about checking akonagama mwana kali akayimba kankubidde ne mwana nze kali kansingidde kali that the debate is allowed. Kubanga nange nina mu albums zange nina mwezi nyumira mulimu kyenkuba nengamba neho bawo nali nywedde biki. You get me? That's there. That's allowed. That's a debate. That's to be taken. Not tokyalina kyotugamba gundi okola bwoti. Shut the fuck up. Nze sibeetaaga bafansi bange olwedde mbalina saagala kwongerako. I'm only feeding the ecosystem that's already there. Bwe nfulumya album setaaga kujja wa buli omu. No, my people receive emails and text messages and they pay me. I'm the business that's employing other people. You musicians should start working like lions, the lions that you are. You creatives should realize your role to the community. We are here to serve a country. We are here to serve Africa. We are here to serve black people. We are here to serve humanity. Zino embuzi ezaali zitunda enseenene ezaali zitunda amanda ziddeyo zitunda amanda. To producing angako album nominated ku BET, you're giving an opinion about BET. You've never listened to 10 Grammy nominated albums in a series of 10 years. Stop talking about the Grammys. Toina magezago. You've never been a composer. Stop talking about omwana violin jeyatadde mu luyimba lwa R&B. You don't know. And it's okay not. What's your pedigree, right? What's your pedigree and the authority that now you're on a pedestal to speak for us? This is better. Nina abantu bange benetaga. TV stations such as granted for interviews from me. Abasigadde don't waste my time.